Welcome to the first virtual cooking school at Bent on Food. Some of you may have been to cooking classes with me before, but this is the first time I've done a virtual one, so bear with me because I need to get the timing right. I'm first going to start with the most important thing, and that's a glass of wine. We can't cook without a glass of wine. If I ever do risotto for you, then it's half a bottle for the risotto and half a bottle for me or us. So today we're doing Gado Gado, which is really easy. So I thought I'd start with something easy that won't take too long because we don't want to be here for hours. We want you to get in, do some cooking and have a glass of wine and something to eat. So it's a vegetarian meal. It's really tasty and it takes me back to when I used to, I don't know what I used to do, but anyway, I used to enjoy a lot of vegetarian food. I didn't eat a lot of meat. Now I do eat quite a bit of meat. So first of all, we're going to do some chapped potatoes. You've got those in front of you. You'll have those in your kit. If you haven't been given a kit and you've bought your own, so grab your potatoes. If they're not chats, it doesn't really matter if you haven't been able to get those. If they're, just make sure they're peeled if they're not chats. We've washed these and I have washed my hands already just before we went on camera. So make sure you've done that before you touch your food. Very important these days. So what we're going to do is just cut these up into not too small, just about this size, probably around the same size as what it'll take an egg to cook, because I'm just going to throw them all into the same pot. So it's nice to be able to do a lot of cooking at the moment. Everybody is taking to cooking or sewing or painting or doing creative things. So this is lovely. I'm going to put this into the pot that I've already boiled, which you will have had in your instructions already to have that boiling. I'll just turn that back up. And then we're going to put the eggs into that pot at the same time so they can all go in the pot together. Just be careful you don't crack those eggs when you're popping them in. Okay, whoop, watch your fingers because they are hot. We're using idle wild eggs, local eggs, always. Whenever we can, we use local produce. These are beautiful. These are what you'll have when you come to the cafe and eat our eggs Benedict. So now we're going to do some tofu. I'll just turn the stove on. The tofu that we're using today is actually marinated in some hoisin. Learn how to use my own stove, we'll be right. And I'm just going to chop that up into smaller pieces. Now this is my kitchen at home. We're not at the cafe because I figured that when we do these classes, you're all at home. You haven't got a commercial stove, a commercial oven, so you'll be more likely to have an oven like mine. So that'll be much easier for you to be able to cook at home. Which is exactly what we did with the cooking school. We always had our domestic appliances in the cooking school. That should be enough tofu. Just get that oil a bit hotter. Move these aside. I'll get my Enyo cloth. Angela, if you're watching, I have my Enyo. No chemicals here. Get ready to wipe that. I'll just bring that pot over to here so I'm still in the camera. Just a little bit of oil in here, not too much. Grace was going to help me with this, but she's on the camera now with Jake. She has a job already. Great tongs. These little cast iron fry pans are really good. I'll just spread that out and let that cook. Is it time for me to have a mouthful of that wine yet, Grace? Okay, cheers. This is Lama Shira, Pinot Grigio, beautiful drop. Goes nicely with something vegetarian and a little bit spicy. Just clean up as we go. Sorry to have my back to you, but home cooks always clean up as they go. When we do this with the chef, you'll see a different way of cleaning up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is really get all of our vegetables ready that are going to go into this bowl. I'm going to start with some cabbage. Now with the cabbage, you can actually just blanch the cabbage slightly or have it raw. I quite like it raw. But if you wanted to blanch it, you could. Now, be careful with your knife. My knife skills aren't brilliant because, as I said, I'm a cook, not a chef. I didn't go to TAFE to learn how to cut little squares. But rustic is good in my book. Just go and check that tofu. Okay, this is the bowl that we're going to present the Gado Gado in. So I'm actually just going to put some of this on the bottom. You can put lettuce, or last week when we did watercress. That was really lovely. The bean sprouts are really nice in it. You can put extra herbs, really whatever you like that you've got at home. Quite often even with potatoes, rather than cutting up some extra new potatoes, we would just use potatoes that are leftovers and chop them up and put them in, because this meal is really good, a good way to use your leftovers. Okay, I'm going to peel some carrots. And then just peel some carrot into the cabbage or wombok, whatever you choose, or a bit of both. I like these carrots ribboned like this. Nice and fresh. Now, I hope everybody's enjoying this. Is anyone sending any chats? Any questions? No? Okay. If you have a question on Zoom, you can actually just go to the chat menu down the bottom and ask. You're not alone. We're all in this together, as they say these days. It's a favourite new phrase that people use. All right, I'm just going to leave it at that. Don't worry, that won't be wasted. We will use that in our stock or something like that. Get some more tongs in a minute. So just pop that there for now. And then we have the cucumber. This Lebanese cucumber gives it nice colour. We do have some homegrown ones here, which I actually like the flavour of a lot better, but we thought this might look a bit prettier. I'm by myself here, aren't I? Oh well, anyway, I'm going to just grab some more tongs out of here. Let's take these ones. Check this tofu, looking rustic because of its marinade, but I quite like it like that. now what we might do, we just can assemble this dish. You can make it really pretty. You probably saw the one we did that we advertised this cooking class with. And that was in this same bowl. We devoured that one, didn't we, Grace? I'll eat that a little bit later. Then we've got some cherry tomatoes. So I just get everything ready and then I'm going to make the sauce, which is really what brings it all together. Because, you know, it's really just a salad, veggies and salad, but the dressing is what makes it. Oh, and the coriander. Some people don't like coriander, I know, but I don't understand that. But anyway, if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. You can use normal tomatoes if you like. Just going to take that tofu off now. Before it burns. Oh, did I turn the wrong one off? Okay, yep. We are human, aren't we? Thanks, Grace. Okay, what else have we got here? And make the sauce. Okay, so we're just going to take our, actually we'll cut up our chili first. Take that off for a minute. We've got some garlic, which we're going to just chop. Just smash it a bit first if you don't have a garlic press. Just chop it up. Garlic's really good for you in these times, good for your immunity. And then we've got some chili. Now, I'm not sure if you are all aware, but I'll tell you anyway, that the hottest part of the chili is the seed. So if you don't want this to be super hot, then you can take the seeds out. I quite like a little bit of heat. This chili doesn't actually have very many seeds anyway, so it'll be fine. We're going to use 2 of these. You can use, however, I might get a different knife. Someone's broken the end off my knife. Okay, so we'll chop that up. If you want to use, if you'd like to use sweet chili sauce at home, something like that, if you haven't got fresh chili, that's absolutely fine as well. But we have it in the garden, so it's nice to be able to use it. And then in this sauce, it's really easy. We put our peanut butter, which is 50 grams of peanut butter that I've already measured out. And our ketchup mayonnaise, 3 tablespoons. So if you don't have ketchup mayonnaise, then you can just use some honey and some normal soy. That'll do fine. You can always improvise with this meal. My glasses are falling off my head. And we have some fish sauce here. Not open, so I'll use the other one. 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. Put it on the stove. And let all that blend together. check on the eggs at the same time and the potatoes. With that knife. This is an Indonesian dish. So if you go to Bali, if you've been to Bali, you've probably tried this. And I think we're right with that, but what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to leave them for a sec and pop a few of these beans in with them. Just quickly blanch them. You can have these raw or blanched. As I said, you can really put whatever you like in this. If you grow all your own veggies, like a lot of people are doing at the moment, which is absolutely fantastic, and if anyone's got any spare, send them our way, because we're always looking for some local produce. And at the moment, I'm hearing that there's people with too much food that they can't eat, and I'm sure we could make use of it. I might do a few more beans actually, just for Grace. She doesn't like beans. Okay, I'm going to just blanch those really, really quickly in that boiling water. Give this another stir. Shake up your coconut cream as well. £150 let's do a bit of a guess here. That's 400, nearly half of that would be. Okay, so what we're going to do is tip these into your strainer and put some cold water on them to stop them cooking. So whenever oh, there goes your eggs. Whenever you cook something and you want to stop it cooking, eggs or potatoes or beans, and you want that to absolutely stop, cold water or ice will do that, so they won't cook any further. So we'll run my cool tap. I'm lucky we're not in drought anymore on that. I wouldn't have done that while we were in drought. Water is a pleasure that we now can use, which is fantastic, isn't it? I'm going to pop this in here, about half a can. Now, the thing is that with your food, we must always taste. So in a minute, I'm going to taste that and see if we need to add anything else to it. Okay, where are we up to now? We have these. We're going to get our eggs. It doesn't matter if your eggs are a little bit warm. I actually like having the mixture of warm and cold. It's actually best, if I wasn't being here, I'd be over there, because it's best to peel your eggs under the tap. So if you're at home, well, you are at home. Nowhere else we can go at the moment really is there. So you can actually just go over to your sink and do this now. Peel your eggs, let them cool off a bit. Where did I put the other two eggs? Oh, in the pot. Great. Yep. I think I need another glass of that. Another mouthful of that one. It's quite warm in here. Cozy. That's the right word. Hey, cozy. I love these eggs. They're the best. You always want to use nice local free range eggs. Happy chickens. We all like happy chickens, don't we? very quiet here. Have you got music on at home? We'll let that sit there and cool for a bit before we put it into our salad. And we'll see how this is going. It's very dark. I'm going to get a little spoon. I know, we're missing something. Brown sugar. We need some brown sugar. As soon as I tasted it, I knew I'd forgotten something. And I might just pop a little bit more coconut cream in that because the ketchup mayonnaise is very strong. Thank you, Greg. Okay, I'm going to tablespoon of that brown sugar. You can use palm sugar as well because palm sugar is really nice in Asian cooking, but we haven't always got access to it. So we'll just use brown sugar. This is a really easy sauce and it's very, very tasty. I love it. I'm going to have to get another fresh spoon and taste it because I can't double dip, can I now? That's tasty. I sound like Mavo Mirror then. That's tasty. Of course it is, I made it myself. Okay, sorry, now I'm being an idiot. All right, now we put the rest of our veggies on. Along with our tofu. It's going to be hot. We're going to have time for dessert in this hour and a half. Pop a bit of our rustic looking tofu on. You could always be non-vegetarian and put a bit of chicken or something on it if you really wanted to. So it's really tasty because it's got the hoisin sauce on it. The eggs on. I'm going to use my fingers because you know what? We're going to eat it and you're at home with your families and you're going to eat it yourselves. So it's okay. You've washed your hands. And you're with your family. It's absolutely fine. God, this is looking pretty good actually. I love this dish. It's nice. And some coriander. So really, all we have to do is let this cool just slightly. So for the purpose of us today, normally at home you'd let it cool for a bit longer. I'm just going to pop some cold water into there. It doesn't have to be cold. We'll just let it cool off a little bit. And we've got these nice little fried onions. They're really tasty. They're pretty easy to get a hold of. I can always get them in if not. And some coriander. We'll put some down first and we'll put some sauce down as well because I love coriander. Who's going to be tasting this before? Graham, is he going to taste it? Okay. We're just going to pour this peanut sauce over. And we're going to leave some because we'll just put it on ourselves. If we want more, a bit more of this. Might actually put a few more tomatoes on it because the colour's all underneath. So you can keep layering if you like. You can put some more carrot on if you've got more people around. if someone knocks at the door and says they're hungry, just add a few more bits and pieces. It's very easy and very fast, and a great way to use your leftovers. A bit more of that to get rid of some of it. All right, and that is it. Gado Gado. Anyone want to taste? I better taste it, isn't that what we do on these things? Oh, actually no. Before I taste it, I'll have to have a taste of my wine. So the wine that we're having tonight is the Pinot Grigio, as I said. We will be having Clare Valley Riesling next week. So I will talk about that wine next week. Tomato. Not bad, very good.